Hello and welcome to my channel today, Boo Snakes and more. Today we're going to be talking about 10 superheroes defined by obsession. So please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And for more videos like this, watch my other half channel, A&A Snakes and Stuff. My youngest son's channel, Henny's Toys and Games, or my oldest son's channel, Little Chris 10. Now let's dive into the video. Whether these are fixations on a person, a concept, or a moment of their lives, these obsessions powered DC and Marvel heroes like Moon Knight, Punisher, and The Question. They can't help but center their whole lives around these things that are basically manias for them. No one can deny they're great at what they do, but fans can't help but wonder if it's worth their mental health. Some superheroes are driven by hope, others by personal responsibility, but there's a third kind whose whole life revolves around something more dangerous: obsession. The fact that they can't let go makes them incredible at what they do, sharpening their minds and senses and motivating them to go further every day. However, this obsession also defines them, often pushing them to limits that aren't healthy for them. Number 10. Doctor Strange is a control freak. It's safe to say Doctor Strange is obsessed with control. Originally a successful surgeon, Stephen Strange had it all. After he lost his hands in an accident, he became obsessed with recovering his life and ended up selling all of his possessions to travel east and meet the Ancient One, the only one who could help him remaster his own body. This is how he eventually became a master of the majestic arts. It's been a while since Stephen moved on from this experience, but his obsession with control remains a core element of his persona. Not only does he have a deep-seated fear of fallibility, but the sorcerer is in a state of constant alert for anything, in any dimension, that may disrupt life on Earth 616. His own body isn't an issue anymore, but as one of reality's main keepers the galaxy is. Number 9. Dog Welder is a unique character. Unarguably one of the strangest superheroes in the DC Universe, Dog Welder is exactly as his monarch signals. He's a vigilante who goes around welding dogs, specifically dead ones, to the faces of criminals. This doesn't exactly scream justice, but it definitely stops them from committing more crimes, at least because they end up traumatized by the experience. The funniest thing about Dog Welder is that he isn't doing this as a joke or an extreme measure. He's simply obsessed with the idea of welding dogs onto humans. This vigilante doesn't have a name, a civilian identity, or even a voice, so it's impossible to know why he does this, or when he began. The only thing for certain is that, without this particular obsession, he would be a very different person. Number 8. Mr. Fantastic needs to solve everything. Reed Richards is the smartest man alive, but this doesn't make him immune to obsession. If anything, it's just the opposite. Mr. Fantastic's brain is always ruminating. Reed is a genius working as a superhero, so he's hyper aware of most possibilities when it comes to threats surrounding him and Earth 616. He can't help but wonder how he can solve everything 24/7. While this is a noble intention, it's also a dangerous compulsion. If it wasn't because Sue and his family ground him constantly, Reed would simply go mad instead of being a loved hero. This isn't just a theory. Earth 1610's Mr. Fanatic went full villain without someone to help him process this obsession. He became the Maker, and he's now one of Marvel's most prominent villains, all because he couldn't help but listen to his worst impulses. Number 7. Red Hood's fixation made him violent. Jason Todd was once an optimistic kid who became Batman's sidekick Robin. This is until he dies a macabre death at the hands of the Joker. When Talia al Ghul brought him back to the Lazarus Pit, Jason Todd was a different man, obsessed with the villain who killed him and with Batman's inability to save him at the time. This means he became fixated on true justice, using the Red Hood moniker to find it. Since he trained with the League of Assassins during his time with Talia, Red Hood became more than capable of enacting lethal methods on his enemies as only added to his thirst for blood. At some point it became an obsession that fed itself, with him growing increasingly more violent. It wasn't until he and Batman made up and he joined the Bat family that this fixation dwindled. Number 6, Daredevil's chaotic guilt haunts him endlessly. It isn't strange that Matt Marduk, aka Daredevil, is a lawyer. After all, he's obsessed with the ideal of mortality. This law-fearing vigilante's main concern when fighting crime is to stay on the good side, during the constant battle between good and evil. And it isn't rare for him to obsess over the moral value of his own actions even in the middle of a fight. Matt's fixation on morals isn't just a coincidence. He was raised Catholic. So there's a lot of guilt to unpack here. In fact, guilt is also a big obsession for him. He's constantly torn between being a good man and protecting Hell's Kitchen, which usually comes with some vigilance. This is why he has such a strict code as a vigilante. It stops him from becoming someone who could never come back from corruption. Number 5, Green Lantern became a villain out of obsession. It's been a while since this happened, but fans remember Emerald Twilight as the comic that redefined Green Lantern for the worse. During this series, Coast City was destroyed, which drove Hal Jordan mad. For a while, the Lantern became obsessed with rebuilding it. Things got so bad that Hal started taking the power from other Lanterns to achieve this. This ended up with him becoming Parallax. This obsession has since disappeared, but fans know it defined Hal for a long time, and it almost ruined the character. Hal is now a beloved DC character, but at the time he wasn't. Emerald Twilight was DC's attempt to take Hal off the shelves, and it almost worked. The company basically weaponized Hal's obsession to make him unlikable to the readers for a while. The Punisher wants to rid the world of all criminals. Frank Castle, better known as the Punisher, used to be a normal military man, but after his family was murdered by the mob, he became obsessed with revenge, then justice since then. He's on an unstoppable quest to take down every criminal out there. Contrary to other heroes who trust the system, the Punisher doesn't like to leave loose ends, so he just kills them all. Few heroes in Marvel are as brutal as Frank, who has gone as far as to take out the intestines of a man and hang them on a tree so he sees them when he wakes up. The vigilante's obsession with cleaning the world is beyond any more. His logic is that as long as he does it, only one person is committing sins in the world. This justifies his trail of blood in his twisted mind, but other heroes know the Punisher really needs help. 3. The Question prioritizes the truth over anything. Since the Question's debut, this character has been defined by his curiosity. Vic Sage does a great job as a detective because he has an obsessive need to find the truth behind it all. No matter how deep he is, how many enemies he may make for himself, the Question will keep digging. And he taught his apprentice, the Second Question, Renee Montana, to do the same. At times, even when he already caught the apparent culprit, Sage will keep going. This is how he often finds the true source of corruption in the system he despises so much. Sage sees justice as a systematic matter instead of a case-by-case situation, of course. This fixation with finding the absolute truth is incredibly isolating and consuming. No wonder his mask basically erases his identity. 2. Moon Knight obeys Kanisha without question. There's no answer to whether Malk Spector was already selective when Kanisha found him vulnerable, or if the Moon God himself made him like this. The only thing for certain is that Moon Knight is now devoted to enacting justice in the name of Kanisha, the god who resurrected him. Also known as the First Kanisha, Moon Knight is obsessed with this mission. Kanisha and Mark have a complicated bond, and there was a time when Mark didn't even know if the god was real. In fact, there are moments where Mark, or any of his personalities, doubts their purpose, but Kanisha manipulates them to keep them on track. This means Moon Knight's fixation with justice doesn't come from his own violation at times. However, whether it comes naturally or from Kanisha's orders, it still primates anything he does. Number 1, Batman has a compassion for fighting crime. Few heroes are as tortured as the Caped Crusader. From the moment he lost his parents as a kid, Bruce Wayne devoted all his time and resources to delivering justice to every criminal in Gotham. Batman's main goal is for nobody to ever go through what he had to go through when Martha and Thomas Wayne were murdered. While a noble objective, Batman doesn't take it lightly. Instead, he's consumed by it. Batman doesn't rest. He plans, builds contingency plans for his own allies, and pushes his body and mind beyond healthy limits. His indomitable will is sometimes his worst enemy because he doesn't see his crusade against crime as a responsibility. Instead, it's basically a compulsion he wouldn't be able to stop even if he wanted to do it. Thank you for watching this video, and peace out till the next one.